Hey guys, what's going on?
Hey, hoy, hoy.
Just showing Jose. We're just looking through this book we just picked up just recently. Isn't that nice? The Dracula one there?
Oh, yeah, nice. It's one of the versions of the one sheet. I don't know exactly how many versions there are. I'm not an expert on posters from that era.
That one's going back to, what, the 1920s there, 1921.
That's in the silent era, which I know even less about.
Yeah. Anyways, what this book is it's
alive!
Classic horror sci-fi movie posters. Me and Jose, we were down at the Royal Ontario Museum a few weeks ago, and we got to see Kirk Hammett's collection. Kirk Hammett is the guitarist. Kirk Hammett, yeah. He's a guitarist for Metallica, and he has one of the most complete, most astute, most impressive collections of horror movie posters in the world. And usually it's on display at the in the museum in Salem, Massachusetts, but it's been lent out and it's kind of a traveling exhibit right now. So it's been in Toronto for the last couple months, and we had the opportunity to go see it a couple weeks ago, and it was absolutely fantastic, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. It was definitely worth the trip, and I would encourage anyone living in the GTA to catch the exhibit. I think it runs through the new year. It ends sometime in January, so if over the Christmas holidays you have some time, I definitely recommend it. It's a fantastic display of some of these posters that you will never ever see again. So it's a one-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Check out some of these rare masterpieces.
Yeah, look at that, the Frankenstein there. That's a 3-sheet.
Oh yeah, the 3-sheet, the only one in the world.
Yeah, isn't it worth like over $1 million now?
Probably for a 3-sheet like that, where there's only one known in existence. Basically, name your price. He was basically collecting this stuff when it was really out of favor, in the sense of like people didn't consider this stuff, legitimate, kind of like fine art collectible. I mean, it was lowbrow. I mean, it's low art, they would call it. It's just like, well, it includes like things like original, Frazetta artwork. I mean, original designs for posters.
Creature from the Black Lagoon. We saw he has the original poster from the Creature of the Black Lagoon.
He has all the hits. Dracula, Frankenstein, the Wolfman, Creature from the Black Lagoon, including there was one poster that, it's a rare poster, but it's for a movie that doesn't exist anymore because the film was lost from the silent era. So you really see some terrific stuff at this exhibit.
Yeah.
It's a small exhibit, but it's a focus exhibit. You can basically spend an hour or two and really take it in, or you can spend, several hours there just really absorbing all this great stuff.
Yeah, I think the movie you're talking about, the one that no longer exists, is London by Midnight or something like that.
Yeah, something along those lines.
The final print was lost in the 50s, and, we're never going to get to see it again, which is a shame. But yeah, just to be in the presence of all these wonderful original movie posters done at the time was known as the stone litho printing process, which has basically been lost to the world. It was the most incredible collection I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, stone litho is one of the highest kind of processes that when it comes to printmaking, I would call it the printing equivalent of shooting on Technicolor.
Yeah.
It really gives you fantastic results. There it is. Yeah.
Wanda, I mean, the movie's been lost to the world, so you're never going to see it again. I mean, it's a shame that at least one print of the film doesn't survive. It's got to be out there somewhere in some warehouse somewhere.
We have the poster, though, with that great actor from that era, Lon Chaney.
Yeah. But anyways, that's something. I hope you like the footage I've been showing. I hope you like. This is something you definitely want to see if you ever got the opportunity to do it. But yeah, let's not waste any more time on it. We got a great show for you tonight. We're showing all the pickups from the last Toronto comic book show, and I know you picked up some really fantastic books. How about you?
Picked up so many stuff, so many books.
I did all right.
Yeah. Me, not so much. The problem is I just bought a synthesizer. Why I bought a synthesizer? Don't ask me.
Let's not get into it again. At least you're on the scoreboard. You picked up a couple of books.
Picked up a couple of books, and we're going to show you some, and a lot of Golden Age goodies tonight, too.
Yeah, so many that I can't show them all in one show, but we'll intersperse them over the next following episodes so that we basically don't kind of like consume it all in one gulp kind of thing. But yes, we will be featuring some golden goodies.
Yeah, so this is a really exciting episode, and I think you're really going to enjoy it. So let's not waste any more time. We're going to go over there, and we're going to get set up.
Toronto Comic Book Show Hall.
Okay, so here we go, and as usual, we're going to be starting with a new book segment, and this is one of Jose's new books. Cool cover. Batwoman Begins. That's an interesting. I didn't pick this one. When did you grab this one, Jose?
Of course, we're featuring this book because these are all pickups from the Toronto Comic Book Show. Okay?
Yeah.
And we also have a new book assignment, and this is the only new book that I picked up. This is 52, week number 11 from July of 2006. And you're right, the key element to this book is that it's the Batwoman first full appearance in the new 52 continuity, and it's also the first cover appearance of the new Batwoman. Yeah, this book is really the beginning for Kate Kane's modern journey as Batwoman. She appears both in costume as Batwoman and as Kate Kane throughout the book. Also, she fights monsters, and who really doesn't love monsters? Now, I checked, and the print run, according to Comic-Con, was 122,000 copies printed with no variants published of this issue. Now, let's get something straight. Let's not confuse Catherine Kane and Kate Kane. Kate Kane is the one appearing on the new show, broadcasting here on Showcase, and She Likes Women. She's the modern version of the character, while Catherine Kane is the original and therefore appeared way back in Detective Comics issue 233. Yeah, now some would say that they're the same character, while others would argue that they are different. Who's to say definitively? Not me. In any case, over the years, DC Comics has definitely had a few missteps when it comes to handling the character. Now, whether it was the chickening out on the gay marriage arc in their new 52 series, or the underwhelming appearances in the Rebirth series, irregardless, Batwoman now appearing on the small screen is a pretty big deal as far as I'm concerned, and hopefully that introduction will gain her many new fans outside of comic collectors. Now, checking with Go Collect, this issue has climbed 250 slots to stand at number 73 on the list of the most popular modern age comic books. Checking the latest 49th Street Overstreet price guide offers us little guidance as far as fair market value in determining this thing, since it lists this book with a 9.2 price of $4 US.
Yeah.
Now, looking again at Go Collect, I think that the fair market value for this book at a 9.8 is on average these days $75 US, which is about $100 Canadian.
$75?
At the 9.8 grade.
Really?
Okay?
Yeah.
I picked it up for $20 Canadian. I did a little bit of research on that, and it's normally dropping for about, on average, $20, $25, $30 US. I saw that a couple other dealers had copies priced at $40 and $50 respectively. So picking it up at $20, I fear I picked it up at basically half fair market value, and therefore it makes it a prime candidate for slabbing. That would all be the case if I wasn't had too many other fish on the fry, so to speak, as you'll get to see with the Golden Age books that I'll be featuring. So this one will be pushed back, but it's definitely a slab candidate.
At some point, at some point in the future.
At some point in time.
It's a pretty good book to pick up, and of the 52 series, it is the one to have.
Great book, Jose. Nice way to start. Nice. Okay, so next up we got a twofer, and these are Big Mike's books, Eagle-Eyed Oog, and you picked these up at the Toronto Comic Book Show, and Detective Comics, very nice, very nice. Are these both Batmans you're going to be showing?
No, one's anyway, you'll see. Anyway, but
Cool.
I did things a little differently. I was on a website on my phone looking for key appearances. Got kind of a little distracted, so I got a little lower grades than I wanted, but I was getting keys at the same time.
Yeah.
And it's not, I wasn't as happy as I usually am, but I'm happy with them.
I'd be happy with this cover. You know what?
This is a beauty. This is Neil Adams
Of course,
from
the master.
December 70, in an arm's length, if you can see the defect.
Yeah, you can see the
You're not
spine
going any
ticks
higher
along
than
the
a
edge.
5.5, so you can see the ticks, there's some wear, everything like that. So I paid $11.25 US for this, worth about on the realm on eBay.
So about 15
about
Canadian?
$20. It's worth about, you could put $20 on that.
Yeah.
It's the first Dr. Dark, D-A-R-R-K, Dark, who is the leader of the League of Assassins. Now, to me that sounded like something very familiar, like when you get into the Court of Owls and the newer stuff. But
Yeah,
it's not
yeah.
really. Only 5 appearances. So not that big of a deal, but still kind of neat to have. And it's a Neil Adams cover, so I'm happy with that.
A lot of Neil Adams collectors out there.
Well, what I should say about that is, for me, it's freaking bondage cover, and you got some pit in the pendulum action going on.
Yeah,
about
yeah.
Batman about to get the chop.
It's
Yeah.
just, it's killer. It's killer.
Good.
Literally.
Yeah.
Giant hand that's about to chop him in half. Oh, okay.
Okay, so here we
Okay.
go.
We got some Legion action going on here. This is Adventure Comics.
Somebody was threatening me with having a 10-cent corner, and I didn't pick it up just because it was a 10-cent cover. I picked this up because this has some first appearances in it. This is the first appearance of Jimmy Olsen as a Bizarro Jimmy Olsen and a Bizarro Perry White. That's why I love it. It's a classic Kurt Swan. We miss him. He was a great Superman. You know, he did a lot of
Artist,
stuff
yeah.
for Superman and stuff like that. Again, this grade is really low. It's like a good plus. It's really got some stuff.
It's not easy.
going on.
Not easy finding a
There's
10-cent.
all kinds of stuff going on. I usually don't buy grades this low, but because I knew a little info on it, I kind of picked it up. But I'm so happy with it.
It's a 10-cent book, okay? It's a black cover. I mean, it's literally a space cover. So every little blemish is going to show up.
Every little
It's-
blemish is-
You have to give allowances for some things, and probably if it was significantly probably higher in grade, it was mid-grade or higher, it probably might have been out of your snack bracket, so to speak. So
Exactly.
it's a catch-22
Expensive, yeah.
situation there.
Exactly, and I'm happy with it. But okay, so I paid 26 and a quarter into US dollars. Apparently worth a little less, 21 bucks.
You paid
But
$20
come on.
Canadian, right? And
No, I paid in US dollars. I paid 26 bucks US. So I probably stepped up for this paper.
well, 30.
So
Okay, yeah,
bucks,
30 bucks Canadian.
Canadian.
Yeah.
I lost maybe $4 or $5 on this. Please, if you tell me, keep it in Mylar and let it sit for a
Yeah.
while, it's gonna do just fine.
It's a 10-cent cover. What can you say about that?
Cover
Yeah.
from August '61. You know, I'm not gonna, and it's also got a first appearance of Dev M, who is a Kryptonian punk. Although I don't know much about him or how many issues he lasted.
Yeah,
But just the first Bizarros are so cool.
for sure.
Yeah, they are
you
cool.
know,
I won't
mean,
comment on my
come
feelings
on.
on the Bizarro aspect of key
Yeah.
features. I think we've already discussed that in a previous episode in the World's Finest,
Yeah,
but
just,
you know my feelings on that.
Yeah, so they're very cool. I'm happy.
Yeah. Anyways, Mike, those are great first books to start off with. Those are nice acquisitions for sure.
Good pickup.
Okay, so this is my first pickup of the Toronto Comic Book Show. It's JLA number 55. Now, the first time I saw this book was on one of Lightning 2288's videos, and sadly he doesn't do, well, at least he hasn't filmed a video in a year, but if you ever get a chance, you want to check out some of his, because he used to show a lot of keys, major and minor, and I guess this would be considered a minor key. First Silver Age Robin. I don't really have a low, so I guess it's minor. And I picked this up at Hagenland. It wasn't expensive. I think I paid like $10-15 for this book. I don't remember which.
Really?
It's a mid-grade book. That's all.
Yeah.
So it's not like it's a high grade, but you know, for $15 you can't go wrong.
Very presentable, man.
Yeah. I believe
Yeah.
it's August '67, so it's getting up there. It's getting close to
Wow.
52 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Robin looks to have taken the vitamins on this cover, man. He's bulked up, has he? He's no longer a boy, he's a man.
just
It's almost
yeah,
like Batman right there.
But to get back to your thing about first Silver Age Robin, I mean, everything's relative in this life. And Mike and I were just recently discussing before we started shooting about first Silver Age appearances of, you know, nobody would consider a first Silver Age appearance of the Riddler or Penguin
No,
or
well,
Two-Face.
I think
or,
they do, but again,
You know, I mean-
you gotta be a super nerd. But it is, yeah, you got,
Yeah, I can understand how people would clock it and just shake their head and go, "Oh, nerds," discussing the minutia of, you know, is this the first Silver Age appearance of Robin or not?
Yeah.
I can see that, but you
Yeah,
know
yeah.
what? I mean, this is what we're all
What
about.
you do.
Yeah.
Enjoy it.
And
Yeah.
you know what? It's a cool book to have. You know, like
Yeah.
I've been compiling a first, Silver Silver Age appearance of a lot of the Batman villains, because let's face it, I mean, a lot of them in any kind of decent condition, they're going to be in the mid high hundreds, if not
Yeah.
into the thousands. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's all relative, but like, I mean, I've been priced out of them and I'm actively looking for them, but I just haven't found copies in the right grade at the right price.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
they can be very pricey. If you're looking for a first Riddler, first Penguin, because none of us
Don't
can
even
afford
think
the
about
golden
it, yeah.
age. I
Oh,
mean,
man.
anything above a 7 or 8, you're talking, you know, sometimes,
Yeah,
you know,
Thousand.
low four
Yeah.
figures, sometimes in a 9 or higher. So, you know
Yeah.
what? It's all relative.
Yeah. And it's a nice Mike Sikowski cover. Sikowski and I think Murphy Anderson as well. And, you know, mid-grade copy for $15. I wasn't going to walk away without it. I
Oh,
do
man.
that sometime, right?
I'm gonna keep my eye open
For what
that.
it is, it's very presentable. It's got eye appeal. So, yeah, no, nothing wrong with that pickup.
Yeah, I'll take it. It's good enough for the girls I go with. And next up, we got Jose, and as usual, Jose does not disappoint, and we are going way back in time, aren't we? On the title, we've never shown before. We've never shown the title of this before.
No. This, you know, I've been a little bit burnt out. You know, I mean, 4 years in, and I've been like superhero, this, that, and the other thing. And you know what? I think sometimes when people speak of collecting in depth, I mean, it's not that I will never buy another superhero comic book again. It's just that I want to, you know, get inspired,
Expand.
you know, kind of recharge my batteries by looking for other things. And everybody knows there's been basically a stampede the last 3 or 4 years when it comes to Golden Age stuff. So you know what, you know, unless you get in there, you know, elbow your way in at the table, you're never gonna get there. So collecting in depth, I actually did quite well. I picked up Golden Age examples of crime, romance, adventure, sci-fi fantasy, and horror. And so, I mean, I did well. So let's start with the first book. This is All True Crime, issue number 26 from February of 1948, covered by Sid Shores, Atlas Publishers. Now, the crime genre was originally very popular in the late 40s and early 50s, and generally they were marked by a moralistic editorial tone and basically graphic depictions of violence and criminal activity. Now, most comic book historians will note that crime comics began in 1942 with the publication of Crime Does Not Pay, published by Lev Gleason Publications. Now, as sales for superhero comics declined in the years after World War II, other publishers, of course, began to emulate the popular format, subject matter, and content of Crime Does Not Pay, of course, leading to a deluge of crime-themed comics, of which All True Crime is but one example, published by Marvel precursor Atlas Comics. Now, this is technically the first issue of this series under this title, as it continues the numbering from official true crime cases, as you can see there on the cover, and it ran for another 26 issues from February 48 to issue number 52, published in September of 52. An anthology title, the main feature of this issue deals with the amazing true story of Wilbur Underhill, a craven killer who learns his lesson the hard way, the deadly way, in killing was his business. Now, also in this issue is a story about Western outlaw John Wesley Hardin in Guns Talked in Abilene, as well as a 2-page text stories, Born to Hang, He Lived with Danger, and The Mighty Manhunt. Now,
Nice.
this is a very scarce, low-grade, albeit good-looking copy. Of course, picked up in a trade with Tyler. I picked up all 3 books that I'm going to be featuring in this episode in a trade with Tyler from the Batcave, where I traded in some Archies among other things, and I picked up these 3 books along with a few other things. Now, he picked it up at this year's Baltimore Comic Con, so he brought it up from down south. Now, this white cover makes high-grade copies basically almost impossible to find. Yeah, this issue has, and I checked, a mere 4 copies total, okay, in the CGC census. Basically, 4 universal grades, 2 high grades, an 8 and a 7.5, and 2 low grades, a 4.5 and a 4, and that is it. Now, that doesn't mean that there's other copies out there. It just means as far as slabbed copies, you have very little to choose from.
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna get this slabbed, okay? The latest 49th Overstreet Price Break show, 80, 120, 246, 411, and $575 US, as the price splits for the 4, 6, 8, 9, and 9.2 grades. Grade-wise, again, it's a low-grade copy. Main crime against this book aesthetically is that it's got a couple of regular stains. One in the top left-hand corner, and another one slightly darker, smaller over the R in the title.
Yeah.
It doesn't bother me. When it comes to any condition flaw, it's about location, location, location. If it had been anywhere near the girl, aesthetically, I probably would have refused to buy or
Sure,
trade for
yeah.
this book. So grade-wise, but a good, very good 3, I would guess. And at that grade, fair market value is going to be, I figure, about $70, $75
Mm-hmm.
US or around $100 Canadian.
Yeah, and Batcave Collectibles is always one of the more interesting booths at the Toronto Comic Book
Yes.
Show.
Absolutely. yeah.
Every time Tyler shows up, he's got all kinds of new stuff, a lot of really beautiful Golden Age stuff, and yeah, one of the first booths we usually go to, one of the first dealers we start checking his stacks.
He's a collector dealer. He's a big time Archie fan, but like for me, he's a brother from another mother because outside of the Archies, he was also big time into pre-code horror,
Yeah.
good girl covers, and all that good stuff, which I am really getting into now. So
Yeah.
from that standpoint, he's almost got a boutique booth in the sense that he has a few superhero things, but mainly he's the guy to go to for the eclectic and the esoteric stuff, the stuff that everybody else is not going to have.
Great book, Jose. Thanks for bringing it in.
Well, great pickup on my account there.
Okay, next up we got Big Mike, and he's got a twofer for us. And this first one, a nice copy of Detective 251.
351.
351, sorry. What'd you get? Nice. Sorry, we're gonna get. So I know exactly where you got this. Sorry. Great book, Mike.
Yeah, again, Hagenland pickup. May 1966. It's a year older than me. Fine minus 5.5 grade. I wish I was in that good of a shape at my age, I tell you.
What are you looking at? The which guide are you looking at? The comic
book
book
I'm
realm.
going by the realm
Yeah.
now, but again, that's kind of like eBay sales. If you take a look, it's pretty close.
This is a key issue, isn't it, Mike?
The guide would bring it down a bit, but yes, key issue, yes. First Clue Master,
Oh, cool. Yeah.
who is
Nice.
Arthur Brown, 68 appearances. Now from 66, I mean, a lot of these comic books back then were one and done kind of villains.
Yeah, kind of one-offs
Right.
before Neil Adams really
This
took
guy-
charge of the title. Yeah.
This guy really stuck, so I'm really happy to have this at a fine minus. I really am, because,
Okay, so so you're saying he's not a one and done. He has a healthy number of appearances. He's not an A-list guy, but
Yeah.
B or maybe
and
C-list.
you never know.
Minor villain,
You
yeah.
never know. Minor could be major with TV shows and whatnot. You never know.
Oh, you never know when you can use a villain like this in a show or in a movie. You should also mention that it's got a pretty nice Carmine Infantino, Murphy Anderson cover. Yeah, it's very
so
quite nice.
You noticed that right off the bat.
Oh,
I
yeah.
didn't even have to mention it. How
Yeah.
about
You
that?
make a good storyline is you get the Riddler doing something real bad to giving a real bad riddle, and then you get the Clue Master coming in to help Batman out.
Tag team scenario. Yeah, you got it there. Yeah. So what's underneath this one? Yeah.
What do you got underneath
Right
here?
underneath that.
Oh, well, of course,
course.
It wouldn't be a Silver Age Dudes episode if we didn't have an amazing Spider-Man,
Spider-Man, yep.
from the first 100 issues. And this is a nice, good looking copy of 76 early Bronze Age with the Lizard.
Nice.
Nice battle cover.
September 69, again about a 5.5. I mean, these are not greatest grades, but
That's a mid-grade. Yeah.
Solid mid-grade for
Solid
what you're
mid-grade,
doing. You're
and-
collecting a run, man. You're building it up.
I'm building it up, and this is the guy again who is exactly 50% off of the value. I'd say, well, maybe a little less on this one. It might have missed something. Worth about $35.70, I'd say. John Romita. Well, it's filling the run, baby. I'm happy.
But it's a
Can't
very
go wrong buying it.
very nice looking cover. I love the perspective on it. Like I said, it's a nice
A lizard
battle cover.
appearance? Oh, come on.
It's a Lizard appearance, and that's Romita. He is the man when it comes to me. Like just personal preference. I mean, I always appreciated Ditko, but it was not my style, sort of my cup of tea. Romita does it for me, and this is in its hay, kind of when he's really picking up speed and leading to the heights that he would reach. And with
absolutely.
first Punisher, and then the death of Gwen Stacy and the Green Goblin.
wow.
So I mean, this is heyday, you know, at the prime. It's Amazing Spider-Man, like you've always mentioned, the first 100 issues are no-brainers, and up to 129, like, they're all solid investments. The run books, like I said, you have to watch your price points. Like, sometimes, like, these guys, they're not willing to haggle on the ASM title because they're not motivated. But like I said, if you can pick them up at the prices you're picking up for decent, good eye
think I'm doing
appeal,
okay.
mid-grade copies, you're doing okay.
Yeah.
I think so.
And I'm thinking, you know, you picked up so many of these over the years. You got to be getting close to completing your collection of non-key run books under 100 for Amazing
this is where
Spider-Man.
it's going to get harder now.
And which,
Yeah,
as you're going to say, your life
We're
is
gonna hit a wall
your
soon.
life is going to get very, very expensive when you
Yeah.
have to start picking up the keys.
It's
I
like you
know.
run a marathon. Well, guess
know.
what? You're going to start another marathon just for the keys.
Oh, I know.
But that's a great book, Mike. Thanks for bringing it in. Okay, next up we got Jose, and again, another Golden Age goodie and another title that we have never shown before. And wow, Jose, that's absolutely beautiful. One of the funkiest, coolest looking covers I've seen in a very long time.
I agree. My favorite cover pickup from that perspective, of course, this is Skeleton Hand, issue number 2 from December of '52. Cover artist Kenneth Bald, ACG Comics. So, American Comic Groups, ACG, was a small comic book publisher that started out in 1939 and existed under the ACG name from 1943 until 1967. Its claim to fame is that it published the medium's first ongoing horror comics title, Adventures into the Unknown, in the fall of 1948, which ran a very respectable 174 issues until August of 1967. Now, no long-running characters from ACG have survived in the present day in our cultural consciousness, probably because they focused almost exclusively on humor and horror anthology titles. Still, their history is very interesting, and the horror titles especially are quite often wonderful surprises, like this issue of Skeleton Hand number 2 with just an awesome Kenneth Bald Snake Woman cover. In my opinion, my favorite, and thus the best of the small 6-issue run. They also put out a one-shot in 1954 called The Clutching Hand, issue number 1, that might have originally been intended as Skeleton Hand, issue number 7. Now, the main feature story in this issue deals with journalists who observe the resurrection of ancient African snake goddess Seta. Yeah, but luckily for them, and weirdly enough, she proves unfortunately vulnerable to, get this, photo-developing chemicals. Huh?
What?
Yeah, that's what I thought. The issue also features tales of pre-court horror, the Were Serpent of Karnak, the Bat in the Brain, Tomb of the Holy Undead, and true ghost stories inside the 32 pages of this issue. Now, I checked Go Collect, and currently there are just 13 slabbed copies with a universal blue label in the census. Now, the highest copy being a near mint minus 9.2 copy alone at the top, and the bottom being a single VG minus 3.4 copy bringing up the rear. Okay, the latest 49th Overstreet price guides show that the price breaks for this are 82, 123, 250, 418, and $585 US as the splits for the 4, 6, 8, 9, and 9.2 grades. Slightly better condition for this one than the previous copy I showed, the True Crime Golden Age book. Grade-wise, I would say slightly below VG, VG minus. It's got some very light stain. You can see it kind of the best along the top where you see the white header there. So about a 3.5 fair market value. Again, around $70 to $75 US or around $100 Canadian. I value it much more than that. It's got waviness to the cover that doesn't break cut, so I will get this pressed. I will
out,
definitely be getting this slabbed, needless to say.
Oh yeah.
It's a beautiful book, Jose. And
Colors pop.
anytime you get something that old, something in the horror genre, I mean, they are truly rare, very rarity. And I think the grade looks spectacular as far as I'm concerned.
For what I got, and again, I tell myself significantly higher in a mid-grade, for example, it would have just been priced out of my kind of my range.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, so we've got pre-code crime, pre-code horror. I wonder what pre-code my last book will be. Collecting in depth, I'm getting a little bit of everything in this con.
I think this one's staying here with me, Jose. You're not taking it home.
That's them fighting words.
Okay, so next up we got Mike's last two books of the evening, and he's starting with a spectacular book, one that's definitely on my bucket list, one I've been looking at for quite some time, and I'll eventually pick up. And Mike, you got there first. Very nice. A very nice, very high-grade copy of Iron Man number 128. Wow, Mike, that's spectacular.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a collector of Iron Man. I've only got a couple that I got from a garage sale, and then I have this.
Wow. So what made you get this book?
What maybe got this book is that I watch YouTube and I see a lot of other collectors just praising this as one of their books that they get. And I'm like, and you see the prices gradually go up and up and up. And this is one of those keys that I figured I better get now before it gets away from me.
Yeah, because this is not like an appearance key, it's a kind of an event key in the sense that this is about the story, and the cover is telling you exactly what the story. This is about Tony Stark's fight with the bottle. And actually, looking at the bottle, it almost looks like it's, I can't really make out the brand. It looks like it's almost like Winston's Canadian whiskey or something
like
around
that.
there.
Well, it says Canadian stuff like that, but it's got the new artist on it, because Romita, who did the interior, this is his last issue before he takes a break and doesn't do anything for a long time. I wonder why they wouldn't. Clayton comes in, so it says Clayton, something like this, and apparently in the back cover there's a whole thing about.
Why wouldn't they use Jack Daniels or something more recognizable? That's what I'm.
No, because there's a hidden message within the bottle. It's the new artist coming in versus the old.
Oh,
yeah.
It's literally a message in the bottle, Paul. Okay.
Yes, this is a message in the bottle.
Yeah.
So aside from that, I mean, you can wiki it. It's all over there. Tons to read on
So
that.
get to the meat and potatoes.
But the
So
meat
like
and potatoes in this is.
What's the grade on this bad boy?
I'd give this easily a 9.0.
Yeah, we were
This
looking
is
for
really
flaws on it, and like we couldn't see one like held at arm's length with the naked eye.
Easily
So
a 9.0. It could be even
It looks like
higher
a
than
pretty
that.
sharp kind
It's
of copy.
Really
Yeah.
sharp.
Suffice to say, it's high grade.
Yes. Needless to say.
VF/near mint 9.0 minimum.
Yeah.
Minimum.
Okay, so what do you value that? What did you pay
Again,
for
the
it?
collector dealer who's getting rid of his storage locker.
Yeah.
I wasn't looking for
Why
it,
don't you
but
ask
it was
his
there.
name so we know who
I should, eh?
You ask his name next
You know, actually, he was only there till noon. They had to go to a funeral. It's him and his wife sitting there in the corner. They're sharing
I went by
a
that
table.
dude's table, and honestly, I didn't find anything on it that I
Well,
would
he was
buy.
clearing out because he was cleaning up. He was like,
Maybe,
okay, I'm
yeah.
finishing.
But
because
this
we're
definitely
cleaning.
wasn't on the table when I walked by him. That's
Well,
for
it's because I had it in my hands already. and the other one the next one anyway. But so this is a Bob Clayton cover, because Romita had done the interiors on this, and after that he took a hiatus. Didn't do anything until X-Men 555 or something like that. So he took a couple years off, something like crazy like that.
Okay, anyway.
Paid 56 and a quarter US, worth about 80.75 in Canadian dollars. I paid $75 for this. You were looking around and saw other copies at the show, all well over 100.
Yeah.
This thing is creeping up. I figured, okay, you know what? I have to get it now.
Yeah, this hasn't been under the radar in a long time. People want this book, and the prices are premium. You're going to buy more than guide.
Just had to do it.
Needless to say, it's a key in that sense, yeah. So you're going to pay key prices in any kind of condition, but especially so in the higher grades.
Yeah.
As far as the story arc is concerned, this is number 9. It's a 9 book.
You sure it
series?
says number 128?
No. Of the arc.
Yeah.
Of the story, okay.
The story.
It's an installment. It's an ongoing.
It's a 9-book arc. Yeah. And this is the last issue.
Cool.
It's almost like 9 steps too.
Okay. You guys are getting confusing the shit out of me. So let's get on to the next book here.
Alcoholism, 9-step program.
Let's go. Let's go.
Or it's a 12
Come
step.
on, we gotta go. What do we got next?
We got
nice.
some Sentinel action going on.
The same collector dealer.
57, okay, great.
Ooh,
Neil Adams cover.
1969.
Nice Neil Adams cover.
Neil Adams. Sam Rosen is also credited to this.
Yeah, he's the anchor.
First appearance of Larry Trask, son of
Bolivar Trask.
There you go.
Must have paid the GG for this book.
There you go. Paid only $45 US for this.
Really?
I paid less than the other one.
Yeah.
That's interesting. It's kind of a black cover, so you can tell with the naked eye there is some spine ticks
Some
visible
spine ticks,
on
but
the.
it's
Yeah.
still-
I give it a fine, very fine. I give it about a 7.0.
Okay.
I might be able to get a
Might
half
be.
grade out of that. I don't know. It's definitely not a 6.5. I'm happy with that.
Well, I would have said somewhere between a 6 and a 7. But again, what do I know?
No, you could be right too.
Yeah.
Because the room between what I paid and giving it a 7,
Yeah.
eBay and that would say 132. So if you knock off a point, I still have so much room.
Yeah.
I'm not going to complain.
Yeah, and you know
It's
what?
very visual,
Very nice book.
appealing, and
You
everything.
got a pretty good price on it too.
Well, yeah, this is near the end of the original storylines,
Yeah.
where
Yes.
and you can keep in mind they were doing everything, throwing the kitchen sink at the title, putting artists like Neil Adams and Jim
Yeah.
Steranko on the thing to try to keep it alive, keep a heartbeat going. But
Beautiful book, yeah.
yeah, it's a very beautiful book. It's a great battle cover.
It's not
Yeah.
as white as it could be here. You're correct.
Good
on
enough for
there.
me.
A little bit of a tick there. I mean, yeah, you could be right. You could be right that it
I
could
love
be
I
lower
love the
than
middle sentinel there, who's got his mitts on the angel.
Yeah.
There. It's gonna make him like a wishbone here, and
Yeah.
just like rip.
Rip them apart.
Yeah,
Nice,
literally.
nice.
Yeah.
It's a cool cover. It's Neil Adams. Enough said there.
Yeah.
I know. Love it.
Mike, those are some fantastic acquisitions. So you definitely got your money's worth at the Toronto Comic Book Show. Yeah,
Oh,
but
I
you
did, I
always come home with good stuff. That's for sure.
I try.
And Jose bringing it home tonight, man. All these 10-cent covers, Jose. You're spoiling us here. This is unbelievable. This is a Plastic Man again, and I'm pretty sure we haven't shown any Plastic Mans before. And this is number 46, and this is going way back.
Yeah.
Way back.
So I featured some Golden Age pre-code crime,
Yeah.
some pre-code horror, and we're gonna end off with some Golden Age pre-code superhero books.
Yeah.
Plastic Man issue number 46 from May of 1954.
Yeah.
Jack Cole cover artist, Quality Comics publisher. Now, created by Jack Cole, Plastic Man was introduced in 1941's Police Comics issue number 1, an anthology published by Quality Comics. Ed O'Brien, aka Eel, was a low-life gangster who got shot up at Crawford Chemical Works during a heist. Yeah, he fell into a vat of acid which seeped into his wounds, giving him malleable body chemistry. Now, after escaping, he found the Rest Haven Spiritual Retreat and realized that he could use his new skills to be a better person and became Plastic Man. Now, Plastic Man quickly became Quality Comics' most recognizable character, regularly appearing in Plastic Man and Police Comics. Visually, his adventures were highly compelling since he could stretch himself into any shape imaginable, but it was the stories themselves that really set Plastic Man apart. They have been accurately called quirky, bombastic, offbeat, unusual, and surreal. Now, while they were never top sellers, they found a devoted following over the years. When Quality Comics ceased operations in 1956, DC Comics acquired Plastic Man and many of the company's other characters and began publishing new material.
My father said he used to read Plastic Man. My father.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This quirky cover has, my favorite feature of it, a bug-eyed, beetle-headed, furry blue ape guy. They call him the Spider, with his mitts on Woozy Winks, a sloppy dimwit and Plastic Man's best friend and sidekick.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't think you could call this iteration of the Spider a Spider-Man prototype, not by any of a long shot. What I can say is, swat that thing, Plastic Man.
Yeah.
Picked up again from Tyler at the Batcave, who in turn picked it up from Mark Sims from Big B Berry. Shout out, thanks for the fun book, guys. Yeah.
Nice, nice.
The latest 49th Over Street price breaks show 84, 165, 270, and $375 US as the price splits for the 6, 8, 9, and 9.2 grades. Now, this is a pretty solid, lower grade, mid-grade copy. I would say maybe a fine minus, a 5.5, something around that. Fair market value. Around $90, $95 US, so about $120, $125 Canadian. All I can say is, great cover. I'm not the world's biggest Plastic Man fan, but when you get something that quirky and that fun that puts a smile on your face like that Spider Dude does, it's an instant pickup for me.
It's a
Absolutely.
golden age rarity, that's for sure. A golden age rarity.
I got some DC Plastic Man's early numbers, but ads were cut
Yeah,
out.
they first. I think they first installed them in that. When they rebooted, what is it, House of Mystery or House
Yeah.
of Secrets or Dial H for Hero? It was Dial H for Hero with Plastic
Yeah,
Man.
but
he
So
had his
they've
own
utilized them over the years.
He had
Yeah.
his own series too.
Oh yeah.
I've got him
Yeah.
in some anthology books, some of his stories, but yeah.
Yeah,
I
but
don't,
this is from this original run,
original,
which
yeah.
ran for a few more issues after this. But
It's cool. It's really
a
cool.
very cool cover.
Yeah.
Beauty.
Anyways, that's fantastic, and I can't think of any better way to end the show than with a golden age goodie like that. Plastic Man, wow, Jose, I'm really, really jealous.
Yeah, again, a slab. I'm going to have a good problem in the sense of trying to figure out which of these Golden Age goodies, as well as the ones that we didn't get a time to feature in this episode, which are they going to go under the slab. But it's a good problem to have. I'm not complaining.
Yeah.
So needless to say, we all picked up more books than we've shown today, so we were going to show the remainder of what we picked up in future episodes. But I think that's enough for tonight because, this one went on quite a while, but I mean, you got some spectacular books. We got to show them, and we need to spend some time on each one of them because each one is a special gem unto itself. So fantastic, guys, great pickups.
Nice.
Okay, so once again, guys, as usual, if you like the episode, post your comments. We'll always respond. Sometimes it takes us a while, but we love hearing from you, and we'll always respond. And I think to end the episode, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a little bit more of the footage from the It's Alive classic movie poster exhibit that's going on at the Royal Ontario Museum, because it's just a spectacular show, and I highly recommend, if the exhibit does come to your town, go out and check it out, because these are all original stuff, and Kurt Hammett really has the most spectacular collection in the world. I just dare to dream of ever having a collection even remotely close to something like that, but I don't think it's ever going to happen. But
well, you do have one movie poster that he has in his collection.
I have the Alien. That's the only one I have.
Wow, nice.
And I do expect to get the Rosemary's Baby at some point too. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching, and we will see you next time.
Hoi hoi, happy collecting.
Special guest Mike, yes.
So Jose, what is this?
That's Albert Callis. This is the original art for Invasion of the Saucer Man from 1957, and it's just fantastic.
Unbelievable. So original art from the film, from the actual film.
They used this to make the poster.
Wow.
So this is in detail. You get to see the men there and the saucers, and this image was cropped then to create the poster for the release.
So here, look, we got.
Yeah, and here we have the actual Invasion of the Saucer Man poster. You can see how the image has been cropped and basically blown up to focus on the big green pointy-eared aliens there kidnapping the beautiful girl. Fantastic poster too.
Fantastic.
But I love the original art, man. That's great. Yeah, it's amazing the detail here, and especially here with the city in the background and the people scurrying about there. It's kind of cropped out in the poster, but you can really see it in detail there on the original art.
What is this? Original?
Then this here we see the poster we just talked about in original art. This is the original prop color from Invasion of the Saucer Man. Yeah, the alien is not green here. It's kind of more like burgundy colored, but it's the aliens from Invasion of the Saucer Man. Oh, did you buy a Fantastic Voyage poster or no? Just so cool the way it's done. I mean, it just kind of glows better than that.
Yeah, if I could have any one in the collection,
It'd be this one.
for sure.
For sure. It's not even, I don't even hesitate there.
Yeah.
I mean, the ones I want to have, but I mean, if you just have one, I mean, you have to leave everything and just take one.
Yeah.
This is the one I take.
So you think this would be over $1 million?
It would be over $1 million right now, yeah.
It went to auction. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well over $1 million. It just looks so good.
Yeah,
It's in
yeah.
such good condition. Man.
Yeah, I notice there's no fold lines in it.
Well, that's the amazing thing for poster from 1932. It's just in pristine, amazing condition. It's almost too good to believe, but
Yeah.
obviously this thing has been taking care of its whole life.
Yeah.
Somebody probably in the production or in the studio probably had it. And babied it and took care of it. This was not a poster that went out to the theater chains and was put
Yeah.
up and taken down. Somebody took care of this mummy.
Yeah, no fold lines at all. Yeah,
None that can be
unbelievable.
seen. It's amazing, really.
Yeah, and that's a 3 sheet, eh? The mummy here. This is
That's a 3 sheet, yeah. Which has got to be about as rare as the 1 sheet, really.
Yeah, and the image is almost as striking.
Yes, it is. Not quite the grab factor, I would say, from the 1 sheet, but still very cool.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Lobby cards, I'd sure be happy with that, eh?
Yeah, just give me one lobby card, like that one right there.
Yeah,
I'll take
yeah,
that one.
I'll take it. Better than nothing. Now, what do you think these lobby cards are worth? Got any idea?
Well, for the whole set, there'd probably be a premium, and you're talking 5 figures, but each one individually, probably talking in the low thousands, maybe.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
a couple of grand maybe for one. I mean, I'm just spitballing, thinking outside
Yeah,
the box. I've never
yeah.
priced one up, but
Yeah.
the problem
Find
there is
someone
just
who's
finding one.
willing to sell it at a reasonable price. These ones are in pristine condition.
Yeah, they're fantastic condition too. It's amazing, really. iconic Frank Frazetta image from 1967
Wow.
of the Berserker original, and this is oil. And it's just fantastic. And his prices, I mean, they're like fine art prices, man.
They're getting to six figures, you
They're
said?
getting in six figures. You know, my guess, $500,000, $750,000 easily for this terrific image. It's an iconic image, you know.
Yeah, that's cool.
Fantastic. I'll take even a little minor Frazetta, man. Look at these two little ones here, particularly on that one because of the detail in the faces and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's just fantastic. Horror movie kind of magazines kind of thing.
But the detail, this is unbelievable.
Oh,
Bullshit.
yeah.
Bela Lugosi here?
Yeah, these are iconic images of the Mummy, Bela Lugosi, and actually Lon Chaney as the Phantom of the Opera.
Phantom of the
right?
Opera, eh?
Yep. Played by the iconic Lon Chaney. And a
Fantastic.
thousand faces.
Fantastic image. That's the man himself, eh?
Yep, Kirk Hammett.
The guy
Lead
that,
guitarist for Metallica.
amassed the entire collection.
Yeah, one lucky dude.
All it takes is money.
That's true. Yeah, if you got enough of it, you can have it.
So most of the posters in this collection I'll never be able to afford. With this one, I remain hopeful that I will find an original.
Yeah, go the real route, dude, man. Do not get a reprint, man. Get an original Rosemary's Baby.
Yeah,
You
'cause-
won't regret it.
That's for sure.
Visibly the fold lines
Yeah.
in the image because you've got a kind of color field, so there's nothing distracting the eye.
Yeah.
But like most of these things, these are high-end posters, so they've all been linen back, so
And
it's
restored,
very
yeah.
minimal. So unless you look at it in raking light or more than a few feet away, it's really not noticeable.
Yeah, for sure.
Mad by her clients, by her work. Oh yeah, directed by that famed director Roman Polanski of Rosemary's Baby. Yeah, starring
Yeah.
the great Catherine Deneuve.
Now, I think one of the main things I love about this is just the image on the front. I mean, that's spectacular.
And that wild rainbow of color, it's so
Yeah.
grabbing, it's very expressive. It's really arresting image. It just stops you in your tracks, man. I mean,
Yeah.
Catherine Deneuve was a beautiful woman, and this is a arresting image. And again, a movie not very familiar with North American audiences. This is more of a kind of like a cinema classic from Europe.
Yeah.
French movie Repulsion.
Although it has fold lines, it's not, looks like it hasn't been linen back because although the fold lines are there, there's very little color break. It's in incredible condition.
Yeah, although they're very visible, and this is kind of folded weirdly because it's been folded many times.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but when it comes to images, like this is probably all time for me.
One of the best, yeah.
One of the best images universally known. You just show that image and most people recognize it.
You want to get an original Barbarella?
Oh yeah, and there's lots to choose from because I mean it was a European movie, but I got a wide release. So you know, Spanish, German, North American, Canadian.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever, man. whichever image is most affordable and gives me the biggest bang for the buck. I like it, you're getting lots of coverage.
So this one was from 1931.
Yep, really kind of cool image, eyes in the dark. The eyes have it, so to speak.
Yeah.
Very cool sleeping woman there about to be pounced on. It's such a great poster too.
This one was from 1927.
Wow, that's an important year. The year the movies found sound. It's probably the oldest poster in the collection here.
It looks like next to Metropolis.
Yeah, Metropolis, yes, of course. But yeah, this is early. Actually, this might be a silent movie, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it's lost. The last known copy was destroyed in the 1960s.
Ah, that's a shame, eh? So no one's ever going to get to see it again.
Wow, yeah, lost to history.
It's Karloff. He almost looks like he's real, eh?
Yeah, it's a really good casting, a wax casting of him. This is what my mental image of him looking like. And it's sporting his suit from the Black Cat. Yeah, very stylish duds there. Actually, that's one of the things I think the director did, says here, to entice him to get the part. Give him a really good wardrobe, because he didn't want to do the role.
It looks almost like he's real.
I know, I mean, that's fantastic, eh?
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would just love to have an original Boris Karloff poster from any of his films. Can you imagine that?
Yeah, and this one would be a great one to have, the Black Cat, based on the Edgar Allan Poe show story.
Yeah.
It's fantastic seeing two different posters here for the Black Cat. How often do you see that?
Not often.
Yeah. Here's a quick shout out to our good friend Steve, who we're definitely telling to check out this exhibit. This is his favorite monster movie of all time, Godzilla.
Yeah, I mean, classic, film cinema. I mean, I can't imagine what this thing is worth.
Yeah, actually, I like this. Probably the size is interesting. Half poster almost.
Yeah, half
size.
sheet. Yeah.
Half sheet. It would be great in anybody's room. You don't have to devote a whole wall to a big, giant poster, but fantastic image.
Yeah. Jose, 1921. This one goes back a while, 1921.
Yeah, silent, yeah. Dr. Caligari. It's from the German Expressionist kind of genre. Kind of Fourth Metropolis. And
Yeah.
You have, you know, Nosferatu.